You know what I mean? Like, I love doing this.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing.
It feels so good, right?
It feels, yes, wonderful.
Okay, that sounded really bad, but it's not what you think. I'm talking about painting and how good it feels to live an authentic life. In this video for NoelleClark.com, I sat down with portrait artist Lorenzo P of Lorenzo P Photography and Kyle Kostic, father, author, cancer survivor turned medical marijuana advocate. Join me, Noelle Clark, as we explore the idea of spirited solitude.
I look at it like this. This is the only way where you could discover yourself is
Yes.
by being alone.
Yes.
The more you try to be amongst groups, parties, whatever, you will lose yourself. It's so easy to get lost in that because it's just too much going on, and it's so hard for you to focus on yourself.
Distracting, yeah.
So it is very distracting. And what I've learned and what I've discovered, right, growing up in my life, I was always a loner. You know, I grew up under a lot of cousins, family. You know, I would always be by myself, and had a rough childhood growing up. My cousins, all the cousins that I grew up, a lot of them were in gangs. A lot of them sold drugs. I just internally knew that was not for me. I just, when I saw it, I kind of just, and me trying to avoid the pitfalls is what also aided in my isolation, because it's like, if I allow myself to go here, this is where I'm going to get stuck. This is where the blockage is going to be cut off. So I go into isolation literally to just reconnect. And I noticed that a lot of people take it personal, but it's not nothing for people to take personal because it's about my journey. And everyone else is just a part of the role in helping me to fulfill that journey. I know who the real people are because they reveal themselves by saying, I'm here for you when you step out of that isolation. I never left. I understand. Opposed to other people say, oh, that's messed up. You ignored me, or why did you, you kind of have to stray away from that, because once again, those are the things that are distractions. And I just learned how to avoid it, and it has helped me a lot. Don't get me wrong, isolation can be a good and a bad thing. So the good thing is that you can retreat into yourself, or retreat to God, or retreat to the universe. I guess the cons are that you literally shut yourself off to everything else. And like you said, like I was saying, people can take that in offense, or you can lose relationships, or people may not understand. But I look at it like this, man. Life is a reciprocal a reciprocal role, right? You can learn something from my isolation instead of running from it. You can learn, maybe I need to retreat.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to go, instead of looking at it as a bad thing, So I look at it like this. Richard Rohr, theologian, said, life is a constant divine dance. And if you look at the relationships, it's always playing off of each other. It's always reflecting, And if you shut yourself off, you're not going to see what that reflection is trying to reflect to. So
That's...
I got some tips too, but it's deep, man. It's really deep stuff. But isolation helped me to really discover who I was, because that's another thing. I searched so hard. What am I? Who am I? What is this that I have? Why do I have it? You have all of these questions, and it's not until you really face it and stand in your truth and speak. That's another thing. I was very quiet, so nobody would know I had these gifts because I wouldn't talk about them. I wouldn't share them. It was all done in isolation. But it wasn't until I said to myself, I got to show people. I got to show people what God has given me. I would be doing myself a disservice by not showing or not telling people. And I look at it like this, man. Even up until recently, I shared a story with Noelle. Like, I was always scared of girls. I remember one time we was in a mall with some friends, and my best friend was trying to talk to some girls, and it was just me and him, and it was like 5 of them.
And y'all were teenagers.
Yeah, we were teenagers at the time, and he walked up to the girls, and he's like, yeah, me and my friend, we liked you, and he went to turn around to me, and I was nowhere to be found because I was running down the escalator, running from the girls. But that's how scary I was. I was so timid. I was so afraid. Just very, very, I was just to myself, man. But working as a concierge, having face-to-face contact constantly, that was one of the things that broke the chain of me wanting to step out of being quiet or being
And step out of your
reserved.
comfort zone.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
I had to, that was the catalyst that forced me to say, you have to do this. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be a photographer, if you want to build these relationships, if you want to get people to know what you're doing, you have to talk about it. Stop hiding yourself. And that's what I had to come to realization. I'm no longer going to hide who I am. People must know who I am, so they know that God exists. They know that God is using me. They know, and that's what I had to come to terms with. And it ultimately led me to where I am now. I had to live my truth. Not only did I have to live in it, I had to stand in it. This is who I am. And that's it. So.
Can I clap for that?
Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
that's extremely inspiring to me, man. Just hearing people's stories and, you know, the beginning of their journey to the end of their journey. I mean, I love it. And it's just so infectious.
It's a fuel.
Yeah.
It literally is, man. That's why, like I said, when Noel initially told me about who you are, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't. I was hearing your being spoken to me through this girl, which I know God is using, you know, to do like illuminated work. She's a beacon of light. People are drawn to her. People are drawn to her blog. And although I didn't meet you, I heard the same thing about you. You know what I'm saying? Your blog is what's like really huge, and I haven't done my research yet, but I'm excited. I'm excited to dive in and learn more about you. I'm just fortunate that I'm able to be in your presence to say I met Kyle. He's freaking dope. So I'm really inspired that this thing is even taking place, and we got to give a hand clap to Noelle for actually making it happen, because she was the thread that stitched the whole thing together, man. So
Well, I received that message, and I just want to say that I feel the same way about you two. You know, you wrote for me in your home. First thing I see is the beautiful painting. And,
thank you.
You know, art everywhere, colors, light, life. You know, life. Same with her. I look at her blog, and you know, your thing is like be magical or something like that. You got flowers and like it's invigorating. It's inspiring. You know, and it makes me want to, you know, dabble a little bit and just my creative juices start flowing. Seeing you know stuff like this is extremely inspiring, and I'm just so grateful and thankful.
Feel this, all you ever needed was a simple plan. But you're doing well. I mean, you're not dead, so let's celebrate while we still